Welcome back, Art Slugs, and today we're going to be going through my file of, this would be more my panels for my Rabiteer comics. If you've seen my Rabiteer mini comics on YouTube or on Instagram, however you came to find me, these are going to be and the layout of them, because I usually do it on paper, then scan it into the printer and do my work there. So let's open up and see what we have. First, I do preset backgrounds, is what I was doing, because I'm like, it's a very simple cartoon. I don't have to do all these angled backgrounds, so I can just do preset backgrounds and do whatever I want with that. So here I did some backgrounds, different spots in the woods, you know, because I wanted that wood feeling. Different trees, different bushes, and I can switch whether it was, which one do I want. You know, you just draw without the background. This is the comic for the ice, if you've seen the ice before. You know, where they're slipping on ice and falling. That's the first layout. See, when I first did my mini comics, I did it on the back of a sketchbook, if you've seen the Rabiteer comic tour. So this one, I'm showing you where I switched to doing it on the panels. And I just print these squares out and write whatever I want and draw these layouts. So I got like a swing, I got a well, I got a slide, I got a merry-go-round. You know, just backwards all around. This one I did of the house. I wanted the outside inside of her house. I wanted different rooms, different areas where I would have her place, so I don't have to keep redrawing the background. And so if I want to be lazy, I could just pop it in and it'd still be a decent background. So if I draw some decent backgrounds, I thought, hey, this would be pretty good. And I think these backgrounds are pretty decent. And so I just scanned these all in and then just worked on them there. Look at that. And I did some of Randy's house, did Randy's outside house, you know, the T-Rex, you know, Nara. That episode hasn't come out yet, so we'll see about that. Or maybe by the time this is uploaded, it has already come out. Who knows? See more layout. I did a bunch. I wanted a form of it in winter. What happens if it's winter? What happens if it's fall? And what happens if it's like spring and summer? Those are basically the same. So that's what I kept it going with. Let me just rearrange these papers because they're like so out of order. I'll try to show you these. Alright, look, doesn't that look better? So I just wanted different angles so I could draw the characters in and do the comic. And so that's why the comics backgrounds look a little better than like, and some of the older ones, they don't look as good. Rabiteer in the comic, you know, if I have to draw a background, I have to draw a background. These aren't all in order, but it's just to show you the art. I mean, do you see, I drew so much, and then a lot of these I inked and then erased. The older ones I was just doing sketch, but before it used to be I would ink it, draw it, ink it, erase it, scan it in, and then I would do it all digitally all over again, you know. When I didn't have a drawing tab, I used to have to click it all with the paint bucket with just a mouse, you know. It was that hard. And then when I got a drawing tab, I just drew over it. And so that's why I switched to just doing the sketch. But it looks cleaner with the inking, you know, and you're able to see it. Pill to Swallow. You haven't seen this one yet? It hasn't come out yet? Or, well, maybe it will. We'll see. The Hot Cocoa. Like, I like some of these arts. And I like drawing Rabiteer's mother. Rabiteer's mother, I kind of have fun with doing different outfits and changing outfits. Because I just, like, Rabiteer's basically going to wear the same outfit. Everyone's going to wear basically the same outfit. I'm going to make the mother constantly wearing a different outfit. And I kind of have a slight inspiration of that. There was this friend I had, and she always liked different outfits. So she would switch to different outfits all the time. Be like, oh, I think this is cute, this is cute. And some of them would be some weird-looking outfits. But she loved them so much. So it's a little bit of inspiration into that. The Cookie Grab. The Men in Black. You know, Matrix combination, which I thought was brilliant. I thought that was really clever. I like that idea. And some people do. The ice cream. People have so many different views of ice cream, so I'm like, I'll throw that in there. The gory scenes. This whole thing, the idea of it, the hearts and then the gory scene. My whole idea into this idea of the comic was Rabiteer is based on my sister, and she hates, like, a lot of times she'll be embarrassed if she likes romance, so she'll try and be like she doesn't like romance. So I kind of thought of, this feels like something my sister would say, and so I kind of made it into a comic. She never actually said it, but like that's what I felt like it. I watch it for the gory scenes. I was playing so much of Plants vs. Zombies, and so that's why I drew that picture of Plants vs. Zombies comic. I was like, you know, I'm playing so much of it, might as well put it to work, because I get addicted. Like, usually I don't get addicted to many phone games, but that was one of the phone games I get really addicted to, and I'm like, I gotta play it, and, you know, so I just start playing it. So, as you can see, like, all these are pretty good. These are some pretty nice art. Like, don't these look cute? Comment down if you think it look cute. Think they look ugly and should be burned? Well, shame on you. You probably have a shell. You're probably not a slug. You're probably a snail, you traitor. Get rid of that shell and live in the real world, where us slugs have to make our way. Snails. Always think they're better than us. Look, the Penguino slide. The Penguino, if you've seen the comic, and why I call it a Penguino, is because I misspelled penguin, and my sister was like, wait, Penguino? And she was kind of mocking me for it. So I decided to change it that Rabiteer calls him a Penguino, you know, because I thought that would be funny. Oh, and look, we're upside down. Who would have thought? Alright, see, this is, I drew a background where I needed it, but I was like, oh, I don't have to do backgrounds anymore. You know, this is why I started, before I do the preset backgrounds. Like, preset backgrounds are just going to make things so much easier. Like, these are all scenes from my comic. Like, that's what you can see. And we're just slowly going through as I give whatever commentary I want about it or talk about anything. It doesn't matter what I talk about. The main thing, really, is that you get to see this and you get to see where I came from, where the layout is. If people want to see these behind the scenes, because here's your behind the scenes of what's going on. My rabiteer, how I do the backgrounds. I'm going to later make a video of the actual behind the scenes of how do I make the rabiteer comic. Every step I take. Since I haven't really been, I've been kind of staying away from magic and ghosts and stuff, so this one was about a ghost I kind of drew, but I never released it or posted it. I think I posted on Webtoon, but I never did the dub because I'm like, nah, I'm not really going to do it anymore. I'm not really messing with witchcraft, so I kind of just stay clear of it. Buying a T-Rex, you know, sometimes I just do whatever idea I could come up with because I was trying to get 100, you know. And sometimes when you're trying to get 100, you can come up with like 30, 40 good ones, and you usually get 10 lame ones. But I think a lot of the mini comics are pretty good. I mean, you tell me down in the comments, what do you think about these mini comics? What do you think about the art? Do you guys think the art's pretty good? This one's one of my favorite comics right here, The Hunting Season. Look at that. That's cute. Of course, all my papers are upside down again. I'm going to do another one of like this, a little better art, but it's going to be like, so my sister hates pepper, and she hates that people put pepper on meat and everything. So I was doing the pineapple on pizza, so I'm going to do another one. She's doing the happy, and then they start putting pepper on something so that she's going to cry, you know, because she hates when people put pepper on stuff. So I'll do another comic like that. Yeah, it'll basically be a duplicate of it, it's just changing the item and be better art. When you have an umbrella and then the wind blows you away, you know, it's very simple, very small, and you just go, whoa! Yeah. Look at all these. I like these. These are pretty cool. I feel so happy because there's sometimes where we went through the rabiteer comic, we went through it, I'm just like, my art was so bad, so like, watching some of this, I'm like, wow, I definitely have shot up in some skill. And then some areas I'm like, I can tell I was getting lazy with, you know. Like this one, I think I was pretty lazy with a bunch of the stuff. This one, yeah, I don't think I did so well. I could have done so much better. This one I did really good at, you know, because they're kind of going from the back to the front because I haven't them set up. I should have them set up better, but this one I think I did pretty good. The hand looks a little rough, but I was trying to do the hand in poses, and since I'm bad at hands, that's what I did. Rabiteer with bunnies, you know, Tilet Bunny, you know, I later kind of figure out my name. You know, whatever I want to do. These are all, as you can see on the date in the top, it says 2023. I did all these basically in 2023. I think a couple of them were done in 2024. Like the layouts of the background, I think were done in 2024. But most of these were done in 2023. I made them, kind of worked on them, and I really started posting them on YouTube in 2025. Because I wasn't doing YouTube back then. And hell, that's the end of it. Alright, thank you for watching. I pray that you were inspired. I pray you see these and go, yes, I can do it. I can see he came from patheticness to brilliantness. And I think these are absolutely adorable. Alright. Yeah, I guess that's basically it. If you like it, like it. If you subscribe, subscribe. And hit the bell. Share with all your friends so they can become slugs and start moving. And don't be a snail. Stop thinking you're better than everyone else. Alright. Art Slugs out.